I'm back, Jean reporting for duty, bringing you more Mars anomalies and artifacts in this high-rise epic comparable architectural designs in Proctor Dune Field. The photograph we're analyzing is called Proctor Crater Dune Field, and I'll include the link to this high-rise photograph below, courtesy of NASA for the color wallpaper. Stunning photograph this. There you can read about the science behind the dunes. This photograph was acquired on the 10th of June 2007 at a map projected scale of 25 centimeters per pixel and the original image scale range at 1:1 binning 28.2 centimeters per pixel. There's a crop from the black and white JPEG, and we're going to be analyzing the anomalies strewn about in between these dunes and in this area to the top. And these are by no means all the anomalies. I'll do a follow-up video after this, looking at the remainder of the anomalies. The ones I'll be showing you are so weird, I thought I'd do this video right now to get these out to you. So area is located 47.04 degrees south, 30.67 degrees east in this massive dune field in the circular depression Proctor Crater. The high-rise has scanned this particular region of the dune field a few times already, indicating a really high interest area to NASA. There's the first anomaly right there, and we're going to be checking out a couple of these. As I say, similar architectural designs. This object over here, its full length is about 20 meters long, and it's about 12 meters wide. And the small little dome there in the center, that's about 5 to 6 meters in diameter, and the small one next to it about a meter, meter and a half. So let's zoom up close and check this out. It looks like there's two pieces to this. This one is sort of layered on top of this rounded part underneath, and then between the two, over that little ridge line, we've got that little dome or sphere, and then there another smaller one next to it. So let's check out the similar one right there, a little bit smaller. This is about 15 meters across and about 12 meters wide, and that part there in the center, that's about 5 meters long. And if we zoom up close, you can see it also consists of two parts. It looks as if this piece over here is layered on top of this plectrum shaped or pumpkin seed shaped object, with this one right there in the center. What are the chances of that happening in nature? Let me show you one more. Here we've got rectangular blocks, but with the same sort of design. The smaller block is, I'd say, 8 by 8 meters, and that little circular part there, that's about 3 meters in diameter, and that little dark spot over there is about a meter, meter and a half wide. So check that out. Also consists of two parts. I'm not sure if this is layered on top of this one, or if this was one solid object that cracked or moved apart. But check there, we've also got one of these strange smaller parts right there in the center, not quite over the ridge line, but also very intriguing. Next one, also similar in design. This is about 12 by 15 meters, and that little sphere or dome, that's about 2.5 to 3 meters in diameter. And also we can see it consists of two parts possibly, with a rounded part underneath and this brighter piece lying on top of it. Check it that there. This is covered in sand and dust, so the ridge line doesn't go right through there, you can't see it. And then that little sphere or dome there, also not quite on the ridge line, but also very close to the center. The structure over here is a little bit different. It's got a little pyramidal feature there. This measures about 12 by 12 meters, and that little pyramid, I'll say, is about 2.5 meters per side. Also consists of either two parts or one solid part that broke apart or moved apart. Check it, these straight lines running through there. And then this right there in the center of this piece. Also slightly off center, not quite on the ridge line. So yeah, very weird. Now we're into some discs I found. Check it, that little sphere lying right there on this larger part. That there's about 4 meters in diameter, but I'll feature that in the follow-up video. Let's check out this disc. It's about 12 to 14 meters in diameter, and the dome in its center over there, that's about 5 meters in diameter. And check that out, we've got a nice rounded shape again, partially covered and buried in sand and dust on the side over here, like all the others I featured previously. So if you get a chance, check out my special edition on the discs and domes of Mars. And there's another one, also very similar to those Anomaly type pillbox objects. This one's about, let's see, about 15 meters in diameter. And the rounded part in the center, that's about 5 meters in diameter. If you check out my previous video on how I determine the size of objects, you'll see this scale indicator here just gives you an approximate idea of how big these objects are. You can always check these out in high view, download high view, and use the pixel measuring tool. But as I say, very huge object this. Check that out. Also got a rounded side to it with the dome-like feature right there in the center. Here's a huge bright disc over here, measuring about 18 meters in diameter. Very bright, smooth object. And next to it, this looks like a metal plate. So let's zoom up and check that out. This is about 18 meters across. So this disc could even be bigger because it's covered in sand on this side. And then this piece over here, check at that edge, slightly bent over and then lightly covered in sand over here. Okay, yeah, I've got the Anomalies side by side so that you can do a comparison. Check out the similarity of these two. With these two parts, straight line running through there, and in the center we've got the two smaller parts, and then these two also consisting of two parts with a straight line running through there, and then two smaller parts in the centers on the right hand sides. Very, very weird. So these over here remind me of an anomaly that I showed you in my video called Mars and the Ancient Egyptian Link. The evidence, and it looks a lot like the Scarab beetles carved out of stone found in Egypt. Time to look at the topography and surrounding artifacts down to the southern hemisphere, and it's located right here in this huge dune field. And there, a summary of the artifacts we checked out. So let's have a look at some of the other anomalies in the immediate area. Go up to Hunten, check out the small little disc with a dome on it over there. Looks as if it's landed on top of this larger part. A larger disc and a dome there. And then this one over here, an excellent example. It's pristine. Check that that round disc with the little dome on it. That's about 5 meters in diameter, by the way. And then this strange circular depression. Looks like it's some type of mining operation, some type of quarry maybe. Highly speculative, I know. And let's see what else is there. There's what looks like that carving of Scarab Beetle or structure, not far from these. Very similar. And then up here, this is what looks like some type of debris or wreckage, pieces of machinery in amongst huge megalithic blocks with ornate carvings on them. Those are just a few that I found there. And then over here, that small disc, about 4 meters in diameter, parked against the side of whatever's over here in the shadow, and then a little triangle not far from it. So rather strange stuff going on there. And this circular depression is called Newcomb. That's a very interesting name. If you consider the 2 nuclear explosions that Dr. John Brandenburg found, traces of in the northern hemisphere. So let's check this out. So we've got a circular depression there. See what NASA calls it, Proctor. Yeah, a circular depression, but also it's classified as a crater. Rather weird, there's no mound in the center here. Only a dune field there. It says to me there was a lot of water in this depression, and it flowed out, dried out, and left that sort of muddy area there that became a dune field, and all the objects settled down in and amongst these dunes. Anyway, so let's check out what's happening to the west. So very flat, smooth surface with a couple of circular depressions. Over to the east, the same sort of landscape, and down to the south, pretty much the same. That's it for the anomalies and artifacts in Proctor Crater for now. I'll do a follow-up video in the next couple of days where we look at the remainder of the artifacts. There's a ton of them. So do stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed yet and you do so, please remember to hit the notifications bell. Just before I go, a huge shout out again to Marcus for his contribution to PayPal. Thank you, Marcus. Much appreciated. Huge shout out to you. And then obviously to Bobby as well. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it very much. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.